been such extraordinary supporters of this institution as the recipients of the Bud Coombs Award for this year, everyone. There are 3 generations of a family that has such a deep legacy of support and giving to this institution. Starting with Eva Goldberg, who was Fred Goldberg's mother and our Paul Goldberg's grandmother. Eva was one of the leaders in the founding of the organization called ECHO, Evergreen College Community Organization. At the time of the organization of Evergreen, these were a group of community leaders that were so excited and committed to the success of this institution that they were the ones that welcomed our faculty and staff and students into the community and supported and provided programs and did all kinds of organizational things. And again, I was blessed when I first came to Evergreen to spend time with Eva in her home, talking about the history of Evergreen, always having ideas about how the college might improve and what direction, what might be possible, and what a wonderful difference it made in this community. She could see it. I'm so honored to know and to work with Paul and Fred, and tonight to remember Eva. She died this last month, 3 months just before her 100th birthday. And I think about such a difference that she made in behalf of this community. And I remember calling Paul when I learned of her passing, and Paul said to me, one of the real blessings that I had when I transferred to the Evergreen State College was living in a house right next to my grandmother, and the time that I had to spend with her and learn from her during my time here at the Evergreen State College. And I think of Eva and Fred and Paul and that tradition and legacy that's been passed on, the powerful connections of families around those values that just lives on forever. And I want to acknowledge what she did as the founding energy, not only in terms of the college, but in terms of Fred and Paul as well. Paul got his bachelor's degree in '91 from the institution here. I had the pleasure as interim president to give him that award, and he reminds me all the time he gave me my degree back then. He credits his experience and his success in business to his Evergreen experience. He's currently chair of our foundation board, and what extraordinary leadership he has provided this year. It's really made a difference in a year when all of our board of governors really dug in and become deeply engaged in the success of our foundation. His sister Jamie has also been a generous supporter of this institution. And his father, Fred, he served on our foundation board many years ago. In 1989, when I came to interview for the vice presidency of Evergreen's advancement office and the foundation, Fred was the chair of the board that interviewed me for that job. And that was when we first met. And my conversations with him and the way he sold and talked about this college, just, I never forgot it. It inspired me and helped me understand. And when I saw that level of commitment, it made all the difference in my decision to come to the institution. When I talked with him a few months ago about considering coming on to the Board of Trustees of the institution, I was taken aback by his enthusiasm and his humbleness about being asked to come on the board of the institution. an individual that has done had such extraordinary success in private business with multiple corporations in the area of energy, real estate, and having served on numerous boards of directors, both in banking and commerce and in not-for-profits. It is a family that has deep roots in Olympia. And even though much of their business has gone beyond Olympia and Seattle and the United States of the world, it is a family that continues to identify in a very deep way with their life here in Olympia and the success of this community, not just at Evergreen, but beyond. That says a lot about who people are. Fred generously provided opportunity for students and faculty throughout Evergreen's history to be successful. He has provided support for new student leadership institutions, and when we began to talk about really needing to figure out a way, a vehicle by which we can have difficult conversations around difference in this institution and in our society, he generously responded with his resources and his personal commitment, and he and Paul both joined us in supporting what will be our first institute that will center around issues of engagement around difficult conversations and climate. And it's our goal that this will be a long-term vehicle for us to have engaged conversations around big issues in which there are no simple answers. Two students, Evergreen students, Aaron Kish and Reed Fuller, embarked on a project with Fred last year. They started by cataloging the artwork to be passed on to Evergreen. They became so fascinated by his generosity and his philanthropy, as it's easy to do. They decided to make a documentary film about Fred. Since he's unable to be with us here tonight, I want to share an excerpt of those films with you tonight. So why don't we see